Hey everyone, I'm Denfo, and I wanted to talk about Orlando Pride versus Racing Louisville that's coming up this weekend, and also a surprise move on Orlando with a huge pickup. Let's go talk about it. So, what we know about Racing Louisville, they're not having their best season, obviously, and they're actually at the bottom of the charts, but that doesn't mean this is going to be an easy game. Orlando always has a little bit of a fight against Racing Louisville, and this is not going to be any different. So Louisville has won their past two out of their last three games, and their recent performance made their strategy pretty clear. They don't need to possess the ball. They actually don't like to possess the ball. They'll give possession and allow you to and make teams get very stressed out trying to get the attack and can't do it, and then they'll just push for the counter. So what should we do about that? Okay, so I wanted to give you what I believe we should do, Orlando should do to break down Louisville without being so vulnerable to the counterattack. So, Louisville, as we know, they have been playing very defensive. They'll give you the ball, let you control the atmosphere. Uh, and this is one of the strategy that I believe they're going to use with us. And this is probably one of the formations that's likely to be used. They used this in their previous game, so I don't see them changing it too much. Maybe they'll go a little bit more defensive, maybe add a little bit more center back action, but let's go with this. Okay. The important thing too is that, like I said, they do not need possession to control the match. Against Chicago, Racing had only 37% possession, but produced 17 shots, 7 corners, and 2 expected goals. Chicago controlled the ball, but generally only had 6 shots on goal. And Louisville won that game 2-1. The same pattern appeared against Angel City. Racing had only 36% possession and was outshot 30-14, but put 8 shots on target and won 2-1. Against Orlando on April, uh, Louisville only had 39% of possession and took 27 shots compared to Louisville's 11. But Racing scored 3 goals from 5 shots on target and won the match. So possession alone means nothing. They'll give us the ball, they will allow us to control it, and it's up to us to see what we're going to do with it. Louisville wants Orlando to become impatient, push too many players forward, and leave space for Sears, Fisher, or even Malay to kind of get us in the counter. So Louisville's formula is simple: defend compactly, force the opponent outside, win clear balls, then attack with quick recovery. They also are very tricky with set pieces, especially corners, because they have Flint, which is a great option there. She's tall, she jumps, she wins most of the air balls, and we don't have too much defense against that. So we want to also prevent giving them a whole lot of set pieces, especially corners. So the biggest threat we got to deal with is going to be, of course, Emma Sears. Sears provides speed, direct running ability to attack the channels between the center backs and an outside defender. If Orlando's wide players advance together, Sears will immediately attack the space behind them. The second threat is Kayla Fisher. She's aggressive, physical, and willing to pressure defenders into mistakes. Her goals against Chicago came after a giveaway, with Sears helping to create the opportunity. We also have to deal with Malay. I believe she got 2 goals with last time we've played Louisville. So she's a little sneaky one that can get into position and on especially on the counter. So those are most likely the biggest threats that we have on offense. Of course, the real threat is also the aerial play. Racing produced 7 corners against Chicago and 8 against Houston. They scored from a corner against Orlando in April. Taylor Flint, Aaron Wright, Sarah Weber, and Louisville center backs make dangerous crosses, corners, and second balls. Orlando must avoid turning this match into a repeated cycle of Louisville corners and free kicks. So we got to limit the amount of corners we give them. Okay, so now that I give you what I think Louisville's strategy will most likely be, let's see how we can counter it. Okay, the first thing is let's go over what Orlando has been using recently. This is what we've used last game, and it's somewhat of a formation close to what we've been using most matches. The issue I see with this is that we are giving them too much space on the counter, so I'd like to switch it up to something a little bit different. Now that we know what to expect from Louisville, how to how do we keep the press going without being vulnerable to the counterattack? So the way I've considered doing this is having more midfield presence, but also keeping our backfield secure from the counters. So what I decided to go with is going to be a formation of a 3-2-4-1. Assuming everybody's healthy, as Anderson missed the last game, and Martha, we're not sure what her current situation is. But if not healthy, I'll switch out Martha for Angelina and Anderson. She would be switched over by Mace, but the idea will be similar. We'll have Ovai as so we'll have Anderson, Rafa, and Chavochi in the back, Lemos and McCutcheon in the midfield, and just ahead of them we're gonna have Washington on the left, Luana and Martha in the middle, and Doyle on the right. Ovaye will be our striker, but she will be more of a false nine. So on initial attacks, how do we keep the pressure? How do we make sure that we don't make silly mistakes and give away the ball early? One of the things is Ovi is going to she's going to often push back when she receives the ball. When she pushes back, that's going to allow Louisville to make a decision. They can push back and follow her, or they can stay in defense. If uh, if they don't follow her, she can press on the attack. But if they do follow her, she can push back, and when she pushes back, we need someone to replace her on the offense. So what we're gonna do is Doyle would cross over again to the middle behind the offensive line, while Washington would go to the left corner. Once that happens, we're gonna try to cross it over to Doyle, get her to, you know, get the best shot at scoring, or have Washington come to the right and kind of call their attention, dribble the ball, and cross it over. Now, why did I choose this pairing of players necessarily? One, Washington is great at getting to the corners. She keeps control of the ball and she's good at crossing, so we'll keep her doing that. Doyle's great at getting behind defenders, taking those one shot on goals, whether it's a header, just a one strike. So we're gonna keep her doing that. Martha, Ovaye, and Luana all have great abilities in ball control. They're great dribblers. They like to press, and also they all three of them are great options for shooting from outside the 10. So they all can produce pressure from outside the 10 if need to. So they they must be answered. Louisville cannot just ignore them. They cannot allow Luana to have a clear shot. They cannot allow Avaya to have a clear shot. They definitely cannot allow Martha to have a clear shot. So that will call out the defense. And we always want at least two of our players into the penalty zone. So most likely I would like to see a combination of Doyle and Ovalle doing that, or maybe Doyle and Luana. When Doyle pushes in, we can have Martha pull back here, and we want Limos to push forward as well. Why Limos and not McCutcheon? Limos is another one. She has a little bit more she's more willing to also take the shot off the area. So anytime they give us an opening to shoot from outside the area, we have four players that are more than willing to do that. Now, while we're on attack, we also don't want to just constantly press. If our initial attack doesn't work, we pull the ball back, cross it back to Limos, to Luana, to Avaye, and cross the field with the ball. Move it from the left to the right, keep the ball going, keep it secure, and take advantage of any openings they have to attack. We don't have to constantly be pressing in the middle, but we do have those options with Luana, Ovalle, and Martha all being great dribblers. So like I said, if they see a chance to pull in, they can pull in. If not, they can stay in the back and just be a pain for Louisville, where they constantly got to keep coverage on these players, because they know that they can be outside menaces. They can always shoot from the outside. Limo's included on that. Now, our back four here, I want them always behind the ball. Now, Country can pull it up a little bit forward, but I want her closer to the center backs. Center backs always also behind the ball. Why? Because just in case we lose possession, they're going to try to pull. If we lose possession, we're going to have Sears, Fisher, and sometimes Malay coming in for the attack. So if they do that, we always outnumber them. We have 4-on-3, so that gives us the best option to secure against the counter. And also a great option for this as well is once everybody gets cleared, we can just have Limos and McCutcheon pull back, and now we basically have 5 center backs. On defense, we can play a 5-4-1. Always keep Ovalle at the front, just so we have an out. So once we get possession of the ball, we keep 2 of their players, or maybe 3, still trying to kind of keep Ovalle under control. So that limits their attack and also allows it where we can easily counter. Okay, so some of you might be asking, why Ovalle in the false 9 position over Martha? I decided that because Ovalle has a little bit more of a burst speed. So she'll be able to get on the counter a little bit faster and also be able to pull back a little bit faster, giving time for Doyle and Washington to be able to get into position, and Luana and Martha will be there to protect her and help her out if she needs it. Now, why choose Luana and Martha over someone who's been playing quite a while, like an Angelina or even a McCutcheon up there? The reason for, like I said, they're both very good with the ball. They're both good control. They're both good passers, but they also offer that outside the area threat where McCutcheon, I don't see her being that much regress on there. And I see that Angeline has been a little bit of struggle, so give her time to recover, put her outside for a little bit and maybe bring her in on the second half, especially if we have a lead. She can replace Martha into that position since she's a little more defensive. Limos over Angelina. Also, Limos is a little bit more defensive than Angelina, and she could get back a little bit faster. And also, she has that outside threat option. Washington, I love that, her ability to dribble to the side. So she's definitely a threat on the corner there. Also, we have, I believe that this gives us the best opportunity to defend against the counter attack with our four backs. And I want Rafa and Anderson there because I believe they're both the best threats that we have against the crosses. So that's why I chose this formation, these individual players. But if you guys have any ideas or if you disagree, leave it in the comments. But also now I wanted to mention something that when something very unexpected. I was extremely surprised in a happy way when I saw this. So when I turned on the website today, this is what I noticed. So a lot of us fans have been worrying about what management is doing. Why are we not getting these great players that have become available? And when I saw this, it brought a big smile to my face. Orlando Pride just got Gabi Nunes for the rest of the season. Uh, that's we need help up front, and looks like the owners are listening. She has excellent movement on the ball, especially curved run behind the back line. She's a clinical finisher inside the penalty area with either foot. She has great control. We needed a player like this. She has intelligent combination plays with attacking midfielders, good aerial timing also. We struggle with a lot of the crosses. I don't think we have a lot of great offensive players that have the aerial ability. Gabby helps us with that as well, and she makes great decisions in the box rather than just taking extra touches. So I'm very very happy to see Gabi Nunes in Orlando Pride jersey. I'm gonna say I'm a little bit biased as I myself am Brazilian, but it's great to see that the ownership went out there, got somebody who can make an immediate change. And once Banda comes back, seeing Gabby and Banda in the front will be incredible. I mean, that's gonna be a line for other teams to really worry about. Gabi Nunes, Barbara Banda, and Ovaye as our three strikers is going to be something something to see. I look forward to when we get those three in the field at the same time. Well, that's where I'm going to end today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys like this type of material, please subscribe, click the like, and also most importantly, I want to hear from you guys. Are you excited about Gabby joining the team? Do you think that my solution to what we need to do against Louisville makes sense? Do you have another strategy? Was there something I missed in my strategy? Please leave it in the comments so we can discuss it. And till then, vamos Pride.